I love this one. It's so exciting. Yes! It's so big, yes! Yes! Oh, I love how she sings this. The vocals. Oh! I can't imagine the pain of that. Ooh! Ooh, I love it. Do you hear those? They're like dissonant. Yes, all shall be well.
Miracles are often inconvenient.
Yeah. Oh my god, like two powerful literary forces together. This is everything I could have ever dreamed of. The buckle on your belt. Yeah. Oh, that's painful.
Buckle on your bed.
I just relate to that. Like, you're like, ah! Like, I don't want to feel it anymore. Oh, beautiful. That no one can contain anymore. Now do you see me? Like, I am going to force peace into my life. I love that. Yes. I feel like we're a swamp witch here in a cottage. It sounds so creepy, but it's like rich and gorgeous too.
Ego than you think you do.
Ooh, that
Slide
sounded so
down in
good.
my seat so as not to threaten you.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Crest.
And just affirming that to yourself. No, I can actually just have it all. I was just thinking, like, how important this record is, especially for women.
Like resting then running.
I am so very excited to experience the new Florence and the Machine album with you all. We made it. We made it through the discography. We did it in like, I don't know, a month and a half, 2 months maybe. And so I'm impressed with myself because I like to take my time on these things, but I was really, really motivated. I wanted to get through the discography. We've got a lot to still go back on with live performances and music videos and things like that, but I'm happy to say that I'm caught up with the music at the very least. And so we're going in at least having a little bit of a grasp of what's going on. And, you know, the biggest thing is her soul calls to my soul, and that's all that really matters. I'm tethered to her forever now. Yeah, I'm really excited is, you know, the long way of what I was trying to say. Hello, welcome to Passion Dump of an Autist. My name is Valerie. If you love music, reactions, and we kind of come at it through a cozy, personal growth, healing type lens. Sometimes, often, especially with Florence the Machine, it brings out a more spiritual, witchier side that lives very deep within me as well. And so if that all sounds good to you, make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below. Hit that bell notification so you know when the next video is coming, because, as I said, I'm going to be doing more Florence and the Machine. We're going to go back and kind of do more of the details of each era. We kind of did things out of order, but that's okay. Also, I do have a Patreon where all my uncut reactions go up. It goes up way ahead of time, and oftentimes I'll leave in things like, you know, the deluxe songs and things like that that I don't necessarily put in the YouTube videos, because the YouTube videos are already so long because I talk a lot. So if you're enjoying my channel, you're connecting with me, and you want to, you know, get that content right away and also support, that's a great way to do that. Visit the link in the description. Okay, so before we get started, sometimes I'm called to pull a tarot card and things like that, and I know some of you are into that, and I wasn't actually called to pull any cards today before this, but I was called to share with you because I pull my own cards in the morning for my own like card of the day type practice where I kind of ask, okay, what is the lesson that we're learning today? What do we need to focus on today, basically? And then I just kind of keep it in the back of my mind and my subconscious during the day. I don't think about it too much, but it usually is exactly what I needed for the day. And so, anyways, I was called to share the oracle cards that I pulled today because based on what I've learned so far about the album, because we did, and this is a Patreon exclusive. It is up on Patreon now. It's not going to be up on YouTube, but I did a video last night. I posted a video last night that going through the Zane Lowe interview. We actually went through the Sympathy Magic music video, the live performance, and then another radio interview that she did. And so I have a basic understanding, at least of, the press that she's given before. So some of the context. And it was really great. But anyways, I did just want to quickly plug that if you wanted to watch that, that is up on Patreon. It's not going to be up on YouTube. Also, while we're doing that little plug, one of the greats, that song reaction never made it up on YouTube. I don't think because we're going to do it again anyway, in this reaction. But if you wanted to see my very first reaction to one of the greats, I don't know. It's an interesting one because now going back and we watched the genius of that as well in that other video I was just talking about. And in that reaction, I actually talked about Buffy and how it reminded me of that Buffy storyline. And then I watched Genius, and that's literally what she was thinking about. So, I mean, like I said, my soul is tethered to hers forever. And so anyways, it's just kind of cool to see that magic happen. Anyways, I was going to do a little show and tell. So this is the first one I pulled. So this is Thanatos. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. Oh, there we go. It focused on it. Perfect. And Thanatos is death, transformation. And I was just thinking before I did this reaction to how yesterday, as I was watching, or I think the video ended up being an hour, 13 minutes, 13 seconds. But my point is, I had the angel number 1313. And I was like, oh, that's interesting because I keep seeing 1313 too. And I was like, I don't know what that means, but I kind of just kept it in my head. And then I just realized as I was going through this that 13 is death in the tarot. And obviously, this being a very close, this is a similar card, similar archetype to death in the tarot, which is 13. So again, transformation, death, rebirth, which is literally the season right now. And a Scorpio as well. Hello, I'm a Scorpio, which again, my birthday actually falls on the full moon, the super moon, the biggest, closest super moon. Anyways, we are going through death and rebirth, and that is exactly what this freaking album seems like it's about. And then the second card, I just pulled one, but two came out and I just took it. If you can read that. The threshold. So again, just being on the threshold of, stepping into a new version of self, leaving the past, death of the past, death of these old versions of self, and standing on the threshold of, taking that step forward. Tomorrow, we're letting go of everything tonight. Tomorrow, we step into new versions. Anyways, I just thought that was really cool. So this is more for the tarot witchy nerdy people in my community. Everyone else, sorry, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to nerd out about that because I thought it was so cool. Anyways, we're going to get going. We've obviously done a reaction to Everybody Scream. I haven't listened to it a lot. I do that on purpose because I do kind of want to keep the newness of it when I know I'm going to do the full reaction of it. So let's freaking go. 12 songs, 49 minutes, 39 seconds. Nice. It's a good length. It's a good length for the album. I'm excited. Let's go, everybody. Scream. I wish I could scream. I would, but I'm in an apartment building and people would, you know, call the cops on me. Let's go. I love this one. It's so exciting. I love this witch choir too. They're amazing. Beautiful. It's so magical. I love the like tinkling in my ear. I guess they're like bells or something. What are they? I don't know. Yes! Yeah.
Get on stage,
Yes.
and I call her by her first name. Try to stay away, but I always meet her back at this place.
I promise, I was planning on just listening to it, enjoy it, but you know me. You know me. And I just wanted to say, like, during that interview and her talking about like how getting on the stage kind of brings out this new character, and it obviously made me understand this song a little bit better. Talking about, and I call her by her first name, like this like outside force that feels like, kind of comes into her, and she just like becomes Florence and the Machine, and it just becomes this like strength and this almost like supernatural force that gets her through and has gotten her through all these like so many traumatic things that she was talking about in the interview. And it actually, in that reaction, it snapped this remembering for me, because I don't know if I've talked about it a lot in the Florence reaction. I know if you're someone here back from the Lana journey I've talked about it a little bit, so you guys know. So you'll hear it again. But I actually used to be a performer myself. I do still obviously consider myself an artist and a poet and all that, but I actually was professionally in my 20s a singer, dancer, and actor, and I did musicals. Like I was a stage actor, and I was thinking back to why I liked, like it made me think of why I liked to perform, and I realized that exactly or very similar to how she explains what it does for her, it was doing for me as well. It allowed me, it's like a sense of freedom. When I got to be on stage, it was like I was finally, oh, I'm making even more connections here. Shit. I was finally present. I think back then in my 20s, I was undiagnosed. I was just only recently clinically diagnosed for my autism and ADHD. And so and obviously that doesn't mean that I wasn't autistic and had ADHD, in my 20s or as a child. I clearly had those things. There was not the label, right? I hadn't gotten the diagnosis, so I didn't understand. I just thought I was a weirdo. I just thought I was an alien. To be honest, no, like literally for most of my life, I thought I was an alien. I didn't tell people that because I was like, oh God, I've got to like pretend I'm human and normal, which is like a very autistic experience to have. But yeah, before I had those words, before I knew that I was just, no, you're not an alien, you're just neurodivergent. So yes, your brain works differently than other people around you. So yeah, you feel like a fucking alien. But anyways, I didn't know that. And so there was a lot of mental health issues that I dealt with in my 20s. And that's why I quit, actually. I quit to save my life. And I say that. And I say that not being dramatic. If I kept going, I would not be on this earth anymore. It was that bad. So I quit, and it was the hardest thing I ever did because, oh, it's okay. I can feel this. Because I love, as most artists do, like I love performing. I love singing. I love dancing. I love acting. And so it was devastating to give that up, but I gave that up for myself, and I don't regret it because, at that time, I would not be alive. So I did what I had to do to save my life, and I did. And then I took a shitty job and, whatever. I got away from that, and now I'm here, and now I have I'm living my dreams again. I have this beautiful privilege of having this beautiful community and to be able to share my passions again. And, I do share my poetry on my Instagram. You can go follow, there's a shameless plug. I share my poetry all the time on there, both spoken word stuff and written out in the posts. And, things happen for a reason in life. But I'm just realizing now that the reason I loved being on stage is because that was the only time I was actually present, like really, truly present in the moment. And it felt good and it felt free because I think, as funny as it sounds, because obviously when I was on stage, because I was an actor, I was always playing a character. So it sounds funny to be like, feeling most authentic and most present. But the truth is, because I was undiagnosed, very high masking autistic person, I was always playing a character anyway. I was never my authentic self, unfortunately. And that's exhausting. But at least on stage, because you have to be on the moment, and because I was a good actor too, so I was in the moment. I was listening to the, my fellow actors and, responding to, the information they were giving me and reacting to it. And because I was trained that way too, to drop into that presence, it was literally the only time in my 20s that I was in the present, was on stage. So I craved that. Shit. And now, I'm coming up on 39 here in a less than a week. And now I can happily say that I try to be present all the time, but, I'd be lying if I said I was always present. It's always a dance. It's always a fight. But I am able to find that freedom and those moments of being present throughout my day, every day, daily. I'm able to find it. But I think it just meant a lot to me to hear her speak about that and feeling that freedom and that presence on stage, because it was like putting a piece of the puzzle that I hadn't discovered about myself yet. I do a lot of self-reflection, but it's just kind of cool how sometimes people, other souls, can come in and help you realize that's why art is so important. Some people don't see the importance of art, but it's vital. It's vital for us because it holds up a mirror so that we can remember and get to know ourselves, who we really are. It allows us that medium to discover who we truly are. Anyways, I'm getting passionate already. Here we go. Passion dump of an autist. Anyways, it's a beautiful song. Let's keep going.
Me everything, I feel no pain. I break down, get up, and do it all again.
Yes!
Because never enough.
The Phoenix.
She makes me feel loved. I can come here and scream as loud as I want.
Yes!
Everybody dance! Everybody sing! Everybody move!
Ooh, it's so good! Yes!
I don't have to be kind, extraordinary, and normal all at the same time. But look at me run myself ragged.
But there's the cost, right? The cost that she was talking about. It's like, I have this freedom, I have this gift that I've always wanted to share, but what is the cost? And how do you find balance in that, right? And I think it seems like that's kind of her journey that she's been doing over these last few albums. That's kind of the journey we've been witnessing in these albums, I think, is her finding this balance. And she is, I think she is. It seems like she is. Every album just feels like there's just more presence, more healing, and it's so beautiful to witness.
I leave you when you're screaming my name.
It gives her life too, and there's give and take there too. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Six of Pentacles I also pulled today, because I did pull tarot as well. Six of Pentacles, reciprocity, give and take. So that's literally what I was like thinking when she's like screaming my name. So it's like she's putting herself out there, but then she's also receiving this back when, you know, we're all out there in the audience, like screaming her name, just giving her that energy back, and she's pushing that energy out, and it's this beautiful flow. Anyways, let's keep going.
I'll twist it and tangle. I'll make you sing for me. I'll make you scream.
Yeah!
Everybody dance! Everybody sing! Everybody move! Everybody scream! Here I can take up the whole of the sky.
It's so big, yes! It's so beautiful too, because this was the first time I'd ever heard her speak. The way her music and her art, it's like she's this force, this big, bold, sometimes dark, but also filled with light, like just huge, right? And then she's so almost soft-spoken, and she's just sweet and kind, and it's this wonderful, beautiful juxtaposition. I mean, we're all multifaceted, and you know, to see that, it was just amazing. But she held so much power in that. I don't see it as a weakness, I see it as power. Yeah, it was just really interesting because I don't know, I guess I just assumed her to be this same presence. But again, we're all multifaceted, but it also gave me, I don't know, I related to it as well, because I am also, you know, when I speak, maybe it doesn't come off in these videos because I feel really comfortable, first of all, with this community. And also, you know, I'm not actually in front of anyone. I'm able to trick my brain. I'm just talking to a camera, you know, at this point. So, I mean, if someone was interviewing me, or, you know, you put me in front of someone, I would be quite quiet, small, but yet I also have this, you know, because I've got a lot of water and a lot of fire in my chart. Anyways, it's very exciting.
Breathless and begging and screaming my name. Screaming my name.
Yes.
Protect me from evil, the magic and the misery. Madness and the mystery. Oh, what has it done to me? Everybody scream.
Oh, it's so good. And it was a perfect first single. Perfect way to start the album. Oh my God. So freaking good. I'm actually really excited to hear One of the Greats again, just hearing that Genius interview and her talk about Aaron Dessner and how he was able to, like, how that song started, and it, you know, they felt it was, you know, the time signatures were everywhere, and like, you know, there were key changes that weren't even meant to be key changes. It was just like out of tune. Things were just everywhere, but then they wanted to keep it that way because it felt, you know, within the art that just made sense, because that was a really good depiction of just how she was feeling. And anyways, I think that sounds, I mean, I loved it listening to the first time, but just even more of that context, I'm really excited. I've got Buffy in my head. Like I said, I called that. I'm proud of myself for that one. I'm a real Buffy fan. I have been a Buffy fan for a long time, since I was like a 11 or 12-year-old girl. I was watching it on TV, okay? Oh, also, I realized I'm the exact same age as Florence. I didn't know this. I mean, I call her mother, but she's actually only 3 months older than me. We were born in the same year. So, I mean, she's still mother, but I just thought that was cool. Okay, One of the Greats. Here we go. Yeah, that riff on the guitar is so good.
I called up from under the earth, broken nails and coughing dirt, spitting out my song so you could sing along. Oh, and with each bedraggled breath, I knew I came back from the dead to show you how it's done, to show you what it takes to conquer and to crucify, to become one of the great.
Again, that cost that she was talking about.
One of the great.
If you haven't seen that interview, highly recommend that Zane Lowe interview.
I kept a scream inside my chest, killed everyone I'd ever kissed, hung them on the wall like trophies, each name is stained upon my lips. I told the truth but could never see it through. You see yourself hung on the wall, but that song is not about you. I wrote down all my fumbling visions, transmitted via television, got everything I thought I wanted, and cried hungover in a hotel closet.
Oh.
Did I get it right?
Yeah, I think that's where she was talking about winning. She won a Brit Award or something. I can't remember what exactly award it was. And yeah, it's just such a weird place to be in, because it's like you've achieved everything that your wildest dreams that you never thought were possible. But it's overwhelming. And then it's like, and that was heartbreaking to hear her. She talked about saying, you know, now spending the next 15 years trying to prove that she was worth that. Heartbreaking. Did I get it right? Did I win the prize? Exactly.
Do I win the prize? Do you regret bringing me back to life? Arms outstretched back from the dead, streetlights bursting overhead. Arms outstretched back from the dead, streetlights bursting overhead. I did my best, tried to impress my childhood dream made flesh. In my dresses, in my flowering sadness, so like a woman to profit from her madness. I was only beautiful under the lights, only powerful there. Burned out at 36. Why did you dig me up for this?
Yeah.
Arms outstretched back from the dead, streetlights bursting overhead. Arms outstretched back from the dead, streetlights bursting afraid of me. It's funny how men don't find power very sexy. So this one,
The real ones do.
the ladies, do I drive you crazy?
Oh, it's so good.
Did I get it right?
Just the way that she uses her voice as an instrument. It's not just, she's not just singing. She's like just expressing everything, telling that story. I mean, that's what she's supposed to do, but not all art. The reason I get passionate about it is that not all artists, even though, you know, I feel like that is what, like that is that is expression, that is art, but not all artists do that. It's like sometimes, you know, people get real technical, and technique is great. Technique also allows you to use your instrument in a healthy way, and so but there's got to be a balance, right? You also have to like let it go and allow yourself to be free and express, and she never holds back, and I love that.
Did I get it right? Do I win the prize? Do you regret bringing me back to life? Did I get it right? Do I win the prize? Do you regret bringing me back to life? Arms outstretched back from the dead, streetlights bursting overhead.
That guitar sounds so good.
Back from the dead, streetlights bursting to feminine to function.
Yeah.
A pile of bodies and a trail of destruction. I will let the light in, I will let the love in. I will be happy, it will be perfect. I will let the light in.
And I love this because it sounds like, again, I haven't listened to the album yet, but just based on that interview, it sounds like there will be a journey of like learning to love and finding more acceptance. And so I love that, you know, an intention is being set right in the beginning here, the second song. And I think we're going to see that happen. It's like, I will let the light in, I will let some love in, but then we're going to actually see that process, I think, based on what was talked about. So I'm really excited about that, to see that. And I think it's really cool that we're getting that intention set from the beginning here. This layering coming in is amazing. Aaron, you did an amazing job with the production on this. Holy shit. Those little crinkles, clinking, I don't know what sounds. I like them though. They scratch a part of my brain. Epic song, absolutely epic. Okay, Witch Dance, which sounds absolutely amazing. Witch Dance, okay. Ooh. Okay, so already that like that those like panic breaths. It's like hyperventilating in the back, you can hear in the production. So I can already hear that yeah, we're going to a scarier or a darker place, perhaps. I guess I'm wondering if we're talking about the kind of near death experience that she spoke about in the interview with her. Well, let's you know, let's listen. But I'm wondering, because I would assume that we would potentially talk about that in near the beginning, and then we see the journey of the healing from that. I don't know. That's an assumption, or I mean, we're listening, but yeah, that's what I'm wondering, because it's giving that, hyperventilating, that there's panic, there's anxiety. So well, we're 10 seconds in, Val. let's keep going. I'll shut up for a second. For a second.
Over my legs, lie down with death.
Yeah.
We kiss, we sigh, we sweat.
That's so interesting. Yeah, I think that's what we're talking about. Lie down with death. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about her near-death experience. And she ended up having to go into surgery for the ectopic pregnancy, miscarriage. Which, I mean, I talked a lot about in the interview, so I won't talk too much about it, but I thought it was absolutely, it made me cry, actually, because the power of speaking about that, because I was, just talking about how in that women's sphere, a lot of times I feel like we're shamed into not talking about these things because they're uncomfortable, but it's like, women's health, these traumatic events that women are going through, they should be talked about. They should be researched in medicine more. They should be like, these are women's health is often just disregarded. It's certainly getting better now in 2025, but it's nowhere near where it needs to be. And so I thought it was just really powerful, even though she, from her point of view, she's sharing this really personal thing, but it becomes more than the personal because she's got a platform, right? And she's speaking about these things. I'm getting emotional. Because it just means a lot as a woman. I have not experienced this. I know that there's so many women who have experienced these things. And it feels very powerful. It is powerful to bring these subjects to life, and she is so strong. She doesn't have to either, these are very personal things. She is not obligated to do this. She doesn't have to talk about these things and to put it in her art. She could deal with it, in her own personal sphere, and that would be perfectly fine and not wrong, not bad. It would be great, however you're called to deal with these things is exactly how you should. But it's incredibly powerful that she chose to transmute this pain into her art. And like I said, I'm not even someone that relates to this, but I just know it's almost like I just feel it as a woman, like, I don't know, in my DNA, almost in some weird ancient way. It's like it's healing the feminine energy somehow. I just feel that, and it's beautiful. Okay, well, here we go. 17 seconds in on the first song that we're hearing for the first time, and I'm already crying. Okay. Jeez. It's beautiful. But yeah, I think that's what we're talking about with lying down with death.
His blackberry mouth stains my nightgown. I put him close, wrap my legs around, and it tastes like life. I twist I bite, the foxes shatter in the night.
And I love, she talked a little bit about this this line too, it tastes like life, and just talking about like the dualities of, you know, death and rebirth, and how, you know, things can go from being, you know, life, you know, having a life inside of you is, you know, it can be so joyful and you can be so excited, and then it's the pain of having that taken away, and how painful and how confusing that is, and then it also becoming this thing that could have, you know, killed her. Like she went to surgery for that, and if she performed that day, you know, I think the doctor said, anyways, I don't want to get too far into the weeds of that, but it's just like, it's very interesting. That line is just very interesting, and it really does make you think of that duality, that life and death, and how fragile life is, but also how beautiful life is, but how it can be taken away from you so easily. And it just, I don't know, for me, I guess maybe I'm an optimist, I don't know. It just makes me think of like just being grateful for, you know, I guess I'm getting the feeling of like a near death experience being like almost like making you realize just how precious life is, and then it makes you grateful for some of the things that you do have and the health that you do have, but not taking away from the pain and suffering from those things that have happened to you either, or happened to other people, but just finding, I don't know, that there's definitely a balance there, a duality there that I'm feeling, that's really beautiful in that line.
The way this feeling leaves, the ache, the kick, the need. Show me the way this feeling leaves, the ache, the kick, the need.
Yeah.
Shimmering landscape.
Oh, it is shimmering.
Widen my eyes.
Yes.
Can I keep all this beauty forever inside?
Oh.
I tear off my nightgown and run naked through the town. Run through rain, run through fog, taking consolation in cats and dogs and things that cannot speak. Ran to the ancestral plane, but they all showed up drunk and insane. When I asked what I could offer them, they said gin and tonic or lithium. They asked which way should I go, and through cigarette smoke they said, child, how would we know?
That feels like healing generational trauma. That's how it speaks to me anyway. I don't know what her inspiration is, but you know, going to your ancestors and feeling like you don't have necessarily the support, because maybe you're here to actually heal your line, which is a big responsibility to have. That's how it resonates with me. Like I said, I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, going through some of those, like, you know, dark night of the soul type moments, and just feeling so lost in the dark, lost in the fog, as she says, and yeah, just not being sure how to get through it, and just not feeling like you have the support even though you're looking for it, and you're like, how am I going to get through? But of course you do. You find a way. You always find a way. Oh, but it's painful.
Show me the way this feeling leaves, the ache, the kick, the need. Show me the way this feeling leaves, the ache, the kick, the need. Die beyond reason. Ruin a snake.
Oh.
Stranger came to my door. I welcomed him in.
That's really painful. Desire beyond reason, ruinous thing. It's like, I, and her talking about how, she already had this. It was a big deal, I think in parts of her life, she felt like she was a little bit resistant to it. Not sure, like I feel like a lot of women go through it because we're told exactly how we should be. I mean, that's, go back to the song King, right? But then, realizing, oh my God, I do desire this and this is beautiful and I'm excited and and then just having that taken. I can't imagine. I can't imagine the pain of that. I'm sending so much love to anybody who knows this feeling deeper than I do. I'm so sorry. It's really painful. Yeah, I can't even talk more about that. My feet are like just being exhausted, probably just in general with life. Like, oh my God, what else do I have to fucking bear? I know that. I feel like I'm in the dark. I'm in the fog right now in some ways, not in a traumatic way, but just in a I don't know what the fuck I'm doing way, and I'm trusting and surrendering. Because I'm taking the road less traveled right now, and it's scary, and I'm exhausted. But yeah, I cannot stop. I have many miles yet to cross. Yeah, exactly. It's like when you have more to give, but you're just exhausted. You're exhausted. That's where I am on my healing journey, where I'm like, I've healed, but there's still so much longer to go, and I'm just exhausted. And I can't, like I said, I can't even imagine the pain of what she's enduring.
I cannot stop. I have many miles.
Oh, beautiful.
Yet to cross.
Stunning. Oh, this is beautiful. Ooh! Ooh, I love it. Do you hear those? They're like dissonant. Dissonant meaning, like not, how do I explain? It's not like a perfect harmony where it's like, do, mi, so. Does that make any sense? I don't know how to, sometimes I don't know how to explain things, but I like understand it deeply myself. I'm really bad with that. So I apologize. But yes, it's the harmonies, there's like notes in there that make it sound not off, but not perfect, and I mean perfect in the quotations that I'm using. It's done as a stylistic choice to give a feeling, and that feeling being that things are not perfect, things are a little bit off, things are a little bit but it's still like it's beautiful though. It's I want to actually go back a little bit.
I cannot stop. I have many miles yet to
Yeah, beautiful.
I came to a clearing full of wailing and keening,
Yeah.
a well of tears that never runs dry. The women said, we've been waiting to meet you. It's only a matter of time. Thrust my fists in the ground, and the earth made a moaning sound.
Yes.
I could feel something shudder deeper down.
Yeah. So finding that grounding within self, but then also using kind of nature to do that is a really beautiful healing practice. Yeah, sorry, that's all I have to say about that. Beautiful. Grounding.
And I met every monster from the bar to Broadway, and all their violent offers, I just turned them away. And your threats and your promises, they don't scare me. After all, there's nobody more monstrous than me.
I love that. I love the little bits of like the woos or like that like the screaming parts in all the songs so far. I love this little tinkling. It just brings this wildness, like wild woman archetype. There's a really good book, especially if you're a woman, but I mean, we all have these energies inside us, feminine and masculine energies within us. So I think it also would be helpful in all genders. But there's a book called Women Run with Wolves, I think it is. And I've talked about it before because some of Lana Del Rey's music has made me think of it. Yeah, it's just basically talks about that archetype, the wild woman, and just like how that has been suppressed through programming in society, and just, trying to bring some of that wildness, wild feminine back to self. And it was really helpful to me, and it continues to be really helpful to me. Like I said, I was a woman who, I was very, as I said in the beginning, very highly masked autistic. So in order for my safety, I really suppressed myself, made myself very small, very suppressed voice. I didn't say my thoughts, my opinion. Pearl, quiet! As I'm suppressing my beautiful female dog over there. Yes, I love you. Grumble, grumble. Okay, mommy. Also, look at Jenny on the pillow. She's so cute. Oh my god. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, that book. Yeah. Totally, especially if you're someone, like I said, any and all genders, who feels like you struggle with that, with expressing yourself, expressing your creativity, expressing your voice. Highly, highly recommend checking out that book. I'll probably put it on the screen for YouTube because I like to promote healing tools that have helped me, just in case it helps someone else, Okay, next one is, Sympathy Magic. Okay, perfect. Yeah, like I said, I had a deep visceral reaction to this music video. I don't know, we'll talk about it. We'll see what comes up today. Like I said, I'm not going to try to recreate it, but we'll see what comes up with just listening and looking at the lyrics here. Here we go. Sympathy Magic. I do like how in the production there's a lot of those like tinkling and like magical sounds. Obviously, this is a very magical, magical.
Memory fails me, names and faces blur. There is only after or before.
It's so interesting. Because we were talking about presence, right? And if you're only focusing on after or before, right? Future and past, then you're obviously not living in the present. And really the present is all we have. The present is all you have, right? And so that's when you start getting either anxiety or depression, when you're focusing on either of those things or both of those things. You'll have both. But it happens. We're human, and I feel like most of us go through that. And so it's totally relatable. Names and faces. Yeah, I think she was talking about being in the fog, and I think when when you're going through these very traumatic times, sometimes it does feel like that. Like you just like you don't even know who you are, what you're doing. Like you're grieving. Yeah.
Friend, have I changed? I do not recognize my face. The scar fades, but pulls inside, tugging at me all the time.
Yeah, the scar fades. Like you can see it fading, but it's still there. There's that deep wound. It's deep. It's a deep wound that's there. So yeah, you can't see it necessarily, because yeah, it fades, but it's still there. It is still ripe in a way, but like deep. So only she can feel it and know it necessarily. I love that. Chewing on a feeling and spitting it out. Yeah. It's like, and when you have these deep wounds, a lot of times you do like those are how you react sometimes, especially if you don't consciously work on healing those wounds and working with them, instead of against them. And it can feel like they're like just chewing on every little bit of feeling that you have and spitting it out in their way, how it wants you to react and behave. Which is where the consciousness, being conscious of these things, is helpful. It doesn't mean that you're, you know, never gonna have a feeling, never gonna react, but it allows you a little bit of control over how you how you react and how you're able to hold some of the pain that you have and not allow it to control you without being aware of it. Yeah, so it's really helpful, and it's also helpful to accept those wounds for what they are. And it's hard because it's painful and you're like, I wish I just didn't have these things, but just realizing that that is part of being human, and you can take your power back and choose how to move forward. You don't have to let these things control you. Anyways, let's keep going.
I'm chewing on a feeling and spitting it out. Crouch in a ball gown.
Yeah.
Anxious and ashamed. The vague humiliations of fate.
And sometimes being crouched in the ball gown, anxious and ashamed, is all you can do. Like, and you sometimes the best thing is just to allow yourself to move through some of those really big emotions and feelings. And yeah, I love this chorus coming up too because it's really empowering. So let's keep going before I get too far into the weeds.
I do not find worthiness in virtue. I no longer try to be good.
Yes.
It didn't keep me safe like you told me that it would. So come on, tear me wide open. A terrible beast. Let the chorus console me. Sympathy magic.
Yeah, there was just something about the visuals too that just felt so empowering to be like, I don't need to take on all of these virtues and things that you've socialized into me, whether that's, getting rid of religious trauma or just like even in society in general. There's like this general feeling, especially as a woman, of how you're supposed to be as a woman. And you have to be good and you have to be worthy, and it's like, no, I just need to be authentic to my own soul, thank you. That's why I'm here. not to impress anybody else, but to remember who I actually am. And there's no good, bad, whatever in that it's just remembering, pulling off layers of all the bullshit that we've been told and coming back to true authenticity. But I say it like it's an easy journey, and it's not. It's I mean, I feel like I've only scratched the surface myself, and I've been consciously doing this work for years now. And like I said, I feel like I've only scratched the surface of self, because those programmings, those how we're socialized, is deep within us. And I just feel like this song really just cracks that open and like, no, fuck you. Fuck you. I'm gonna be myself. Thank you. I'm gonna have my own virtues and my own, like, and I think it's important for all of us to do that. Just remember that. And like, even if you listen to, other, spiritual people, whether that be, within a structured religion, like if you listen to, a priest or whatever, or if you watch like tarot readers on TikTok, like whatever the mode of, or, if you listen to some of the things I say, just remember that none of those people know you the way that you know yourself, right? So it's great to, exchange knowledge human to human. That's beautiful. Everybody's been on a different path. We all have different experiences. So of course, like, that's what I do. I like try to share my experience. And if it's helpful, please take it. Take whatever is helpful for you. But if it's not helpful to you, get rid of it. Don't listen to me. And I will always say that, right? Your soul knows what's right for you. Always remember that. Always use your discernment. Anyways, this is bringing up a lot and making me very passionate, which, I mean, you can say it means I love it. I love it. I'm getting excited. Let's keep going.
And the light coming in the window just so, and the wind through my fingers, the only God that I know.
Yes, exactly.
And it doesn't want me on my knees to believe.
Yes.
Arms wide, aching, 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 and alive.
Beautiful. Yes.
Give me everything you got.
Yes.
What else? What else?
This part was really, this bridge really got me too, because in the visuals, it's like she's yelling up at the sky, and it feels like it just, anybody who's ever had those like really deep rock bottom type moments in your life where you've just been screaming up at God. It reminded me of that moment again, like a dark night of the soul, rock bottom type moment where you're just reduced to, in some ways, your core self, because it's like everything else just everything gets too much, and you find yourself on the ground just being like, what the fuck? But there's like an empowerment, like, come on, I've done this before. Give me everything. What else? What else? What else you got? Do it. I'll take it. I've been through hell and back. What, are you gonna send me there again? I'll rip myself out again. And there's this power in that. It's beautiful.
What else? What else? So come on, I can take it. Give me everything you got.
That sounds so cool. I love that.
Come on, I can take it.
Yeah.
Sympathy magic, sympathy magic. Come on, I can take it. Sympathy
It's bringing me in a trance. It's beautiful. It's such a release at the end too, eh? With that little Beautiful. I love that. So healing, so beautiful. Oh my God. I can't even, like, they're all so good so far. We've only done 4. And we've really only done 1 that I hadn't heard before. And I'm already impressed. I'm so excited to see what we have next, because we've gone through some of the hell and pain, and I'm just wondering where we're gonna, yeah. I mean, we've already started healing a little bit with this, we're like taunting. We're like, okay, we can do this. There's definitely some empowerment here. I'm just excited to see where we go thematically after this now. Perfume and milk. That sounds like a very interesting one. Ooh, that sounds good.
Perfume and milk, the body in bloom, the falling leaves, the fallen fruit, the rot and the ruin, the earth and the worms, the seasons change, the world turns.
It's perfect for what we're going through right now in autumn turning into winter. Like I totally know what she means when she said this is the perfect date for her to put out this album. Totally. Like the falling leaves, the fallen fruit, the rot and the ruin, the earth and the worms, the seasons change. Again, it's this death of old self, rebirth, because we're part of the earth, right? So we go through very similar cycles of the earth. And sometimes you can get caught up in that rot and ruin and, kind of be like, oh, like everything is falling away, everything is awful. But usually when things are falling away in your life, it literally becomes an open door, a new opportunity for you to actually grow and get closer to, again, your authenticity and your mission, your purpose, whatever it is, whatever reason you're here, whatever your personal reason for being here is. So it can be really challenging to see the silver lining, I guess, to a lot of the rotten ruin, but I've really learned to see that rot and ruin as a good thing. Like sometimes I'll see little things that would scare me before and I'll be like, oh, okay, that means things are coming closer to the way, to whatever I'm manifesting at the time or whatever. I can see some of the, when things start moving away and fears start coming up again, I'm like, ooh, okay, this is when it gets good. This is when we really start to transform. And so it can be really powerful to see things that way.
Trees turn gray and the land turns brown in a house in the woods on the edge of town. Bury it deep, swallow it down, taking the herbs, a laurel crown, doing the work and sleeping alone, downloading revelations, divine love on my phone, trying to read
revelations of divine love. I need to know. Rabbit hole. Christian mysticism. That actually, I am a nerd enough into these kind of things that I think I would actually enjoy that.
But getting distracted, trying to live, but feeling so damaged,
Yeah.
and all shall be.
Yeah, like you're on that threshold, right? Exactly what we were talking about, where you're like, you're doing all the work, you're being conscious and aware of these things, you're trying to heal, you're trying to live, but you're getting distracted, but you're still feeling damaged. Like I said, you're on that threshold between old self, and you still haven't taken that next step to step into that new version or new timeline, or however you want to see it. Yeah, it's a scary place to be in. This is a little piece of art that I got off Etsy that actually goes exactly with what we're talking about as well. Like I said, I relate to this. This is called Woman of the Bardo. She feels attached to the space between the above and the below. She tries to move, but she can only go so slow. And it just makes me think of that kind of idea, just being stuck in that, on that threshold place, like not knowing how to take that next step. Anyways, I guess today is like a show and tell day. I'm just getting excited about all these little things, all these little synchronicities that line up.
Well, all shall be well.
Yes, all shall be well.
Miracles are often inconvenient.
Yeah.
And a prayer is a spell.
Yes. Beautiful. Yes. And all shall be well. That's literally her prayer or spell, however you want to think about it, or affirmation. There's all different words for it. different people with different beliefs call it a different thing, but it's usually it's the same thing, in my opinion. And yes, so speaking those words and really believing them is the truth. It is what will be, what is. Miracles are often inconvenient. Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, before the miracles come, you usually go through these stripping away of things that are not, in order to make space for those miracles to come in. I feel like the universe, God, source, whatever, they'll take things away that are not aligned with you, so they can like throw you back the things that are aligned to you. But it's really scary to be in that place of being taken from, because then you're like, ah, why am I being taken from? But balance in all things. Be open to receive.
Car, a pilgrimage to wherever you are.
Yeah.
April comes with its blossoms, beaten by rain. Oh, the hope and the horror singing.
Yes.
Daffodils again, the land it thaws, and the leaves turn green, and the blue stars of snow glories with the winter jasmine.
I love this line, the hope and the horror, because it just speaks to how change, that new, like coming into that spring part of your life. I need to take my own advice here. Sorry, I'm clocking that. I just got the thought that the thing that I'm going to say right now is really important for myself to learn and to take in. So I'm just clocking that. Because I'm in this place where I'm transitioning from the winter period of my life into spring, and I feel it. Like I said, I literally pulled this threshold card, and I feel it. I've been feeling it for a while, and so I know it's not even a feeling at this point. It's a knowing, a deep knowing. But there's like fears coming up. It's like I'm really excited. I'm really excited about what's to come. And I know that there's some really exciting things to come, but there's like fear coming with that as well. And so there's definitely hope, but there's also horror. And it's a weird place to be in, to be like excited and like, yes, I have so much hope about the future, but change is fucking scary. And yeah, anyways, it made me think of that, but I need to remember that.
Rose of silk and satin, lace and leather, the one pink ribbon that holds me together, and all shall be well, all shall be well.
This is like a breath, right? Yeah.
Miracles are often inconvenient, and prayer is a spell.
Yes.
And I am changing,
Yes.
becoming something else.
Yes.
A creature of longing,
Yes.
tending only to myself.
Yes.
Licking my wounds, burrowing down in a house in the woods.
Yes.
On the edge of town, where healing is slow. It comes and it goes.
This is everything. It's like she's documenting my healing journey. That, well, healing is slow. It comes and it goes, and it does. Healing, I love that idea, because healing isn't linear. And it gets really confusing when old self comes back, or like old beliefs that you thought you had kind of purged yourself from and you thought you had healed from, and then they start coming back in. But I do want to say that when that happens, if you find yourself and you're on your healing journey and you start seeing like old versions of yourself come back, or like old habits, old behaviors, old fears come up, and what I will say to you, from my experience, because I've gone through, oh my god, I've looped. Trust me, I have looped and looped and looped. So trust me, I am the master at at taking a while for lessons to really get in there. So trust me, when those things come up again, it doesn't mean that everything's lost, that you've gone back into an old version of yourself. Like, that is not what it means. It actually just means that you are on the threshold, the precipice of truly changing your habits, your behaviors, your beliefs, and your subconscious mind. Like, some of those old wounds, they come up again because they're scared. They feel that you're changing, and all those things that have worked for you in the past, it's like, no, but like, what about these things that have, because listen, all those old versions of yourself and old behaviors and things like that, they have protected you and gotten you to where you are in this moment, right? And so your mind does that. Your mind and your ego knows that, and they're not these evil, horrible things. I know sometimes your mind can feel like, oh my god, can you just stop? Like, it's so annoying, like your brain just ruminates sometimes, especially if you're someone who struggles with depression and anxiety. Sometimes it can feel like you've got a war going on in your mind. And what's really helpful, or what has been helpful for me, is to realize and accept that your brain and your ego, your mind, is literally just trying to protect you. And sometimes that protection, you grow out of that. And honestly, it sounds silly, but the best thing you can do is to have so much kindness and compassion for yourself, and just reaffirm to yourself what you already know. So if you've got some fear that's creeping in again, it's literally just put your hand on your heart and be like, and just reaffirm, like, hey, I talk to myself. And listen, I live by myself, so with dogs, and they don't judge me, so I literally talk to myself out loud, and I'm not ashamed to say that. But maybe you can't do that. Maybe you do it in your mind, but it's helpful for me I literally just talk to myself out loud, as I'm sitting here talking to a camera by myself anyway. So, I mean, I'm used to talking to myself anyway. But yeah, I'll just put my hand on my heart, and I'll just be like, I understand. I understand why you're scared, why you want to go back to that, but we don't have to do that anymore. That's not who we are. We don't need that protection anymore. We've gone beyond, like, whatever it is, right? We've gone past that, and you can trust that we'll be able to figure it out from here. And literally just talking to yourself like that in like a nice, kind, compassionate, loving way is so much more helpful than telling your brain to shut up and I hate you and, you know, stop doing this to me. It's like, understand where it's coming from. And it's that these wounds that are coming up, they're just trying to protect you because it's worked in the past. But as you grow and evolve, some of these old tactics are not needed anymore. So you can, like I said, you can basically thank it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I understand that you're trying to protect me, but we don't need that anymore. We're going to try this new way, and we're going to trust that it's going to work the way that we need to. And that's how you change. That's how you transform. And I consider myself a master phoenix. The amount of times I've grown and changed in this lifetime is, I need to write a book at some point. I will. Not now. Not yet. But I will. So please trust me. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So those like that old, well, it's like it comes and it goes. Those old versions of self that come and feel like they're attacking you while you're in your healing growth. I always just think about it as like those last little bits that are like dying and they're like screaming as they're dying. So it's like, just let them scream and shout and fight while they're dying, you know, but you know, ultimately just let them die and then grieve and let go. Again, death and rebirth. Anyways, let's keep going. These are long-winded. You can tell I'm liking this album because, man, we're almost at 2 hours. Shit, this is a long reaction. Part of me is like, Val, shut up. And again, that's the old version. That's the ego, right? Because I'm being my authentic self right now, and I'm sharing my passion and expressing myself and the things I'm really passionate about now. And I need to trust that that's going to, you know, I'm going to reach the people who it's for, and the people that it's not for, whatever, they can click off the video, that's fine. But the people that are here for this, I need to trust in that, in myself. I still struggle. Like I said, like part of me is like, oh my God, we need to get it going. But no, I'm like clearly enjoying this, and I'm doing what I always do, which I have been able to build this beautiful community that likes these long videos. I don't always understand it, to be honest. I don't understand it. Actually, I do, because there are some creators on YouTube that I would love watching a 4-hour video of them yapping about songs. It's hard for me to understand that might be the case, though, for me, like someone would want to watch a 4-hour video. But I mean, I've proved it. I had a 6-hour video that I did for a Lana Del Rey reaction that a lot of people loved. Again, I don't understand. I don't have to understand it. Just trust. Just trust. Anyways, see, I'm still healing. I still have things come up all the time. In real time. Here we go. We're healing in real time.
Glimpse of the sun in a flurry of snow. The first
yes. Oh my God. Yes. A glimpse of the sun, then a flurry of the snow. Exactly. It just makes me think of like freaking April. Like, you know, that like, at least where I am in Canada here in the like March, April, it's like you'll have one day that literally feels like, oh my God, spring is coming, and then the next day will be like a freaking snowstorm and you'll be out shoveling snow again, and it's so confusing. But exactly, it's a perfect metaphor for healing. And again, of course, our cycles are the same because we are part of the earth. It just, yeah, it's a really good metaphor for the way healing happens. Yeah, anyways, I mean, I exhausted that one. Let's keep going.
Oh, some things gain and some things lost.
Yes!
The rod and the root and the earth and the world.
something's gained when something's lost. I mean, I literally have said that over and over and over again in this reaction already. The universe takes away from you in order to, my dogs, my ADHD is going nuts. Is it the ADHD or the autism? I don't know. I never know. Maybe it's the sensory. Yeah, it's the sensory. It's actually my autism that's driving me nuts with the barking because I'm trying to focus. No, it's both. I'm ADHD. Sorry, I'm still learning. But it's like the ADHD, it's bothering the ADHD because I'm having a hard time focusing but then the autism is like the sensory of it all with the dogs barking. Like I said, healing in real time. You get to see me calming my nervous system after getting overstimulated. Okay. But yeah, it was pissing me off though because I was getting really excited about what I was saying and then it was distracting me. But yeah, I've talked about that a million times, how the universe takes in order to open, make space for something better to come in. Let's keep going.
The seasons change, the world turns, the world Perfume and milk, the body in bloom, the falling leaves, the fallen fruit, the rot and the ruin, the earth and the worms, the seasons change, the world turns, the world
turns. Wheel of Fortune, if you're a tarot nerd like me.
the world turns.
And obviously the world too. End of a cycle. Beautiful. Oh my god. Beautiful. You notice how once I calmed my nervous system, once I stopped getting out of that like panic and frustration, my dogs actually just calmed down perfectly. Oh. Okay. Buckle. Interesting. Okay. Here we go. Buckle. I love all the guitars on this. It's like I said, it still has this Florence and the Machine sound, but it is very different actually. There's quite a different feel to this album so far. There's so much magic, but then there's like this groundedness, this rootedness in this like acoustic guitar that I'm really loving. Ooh, this one was also written with Mitski. I know Mitski, I think, was a co-writer in Everybody's Scream. Say hi to Pearly. She's the chaotic one. Okay. Hi. Hi. Anyways, I'm very excited. This one was written with Mitski. I love Mitski's writing.
Wanna call you on the telephone. I made 1,000 people love me. Now I'm all alone, and my resolve is sinking like a stone. What would I even say? I guess it's something that just never goes away. A crowd of thousands came to see me, and you couldn't reply for 3 days. 'Cause I'm stupid and I'm damaged and you're a disaster. When you walk into the room, oh, none of it matters. Oh baby, I just buckle
This is interesting. I want to call you on the telephone. I made 1,000 people love me. Now I'm all alone. It's like, yeah, it's so interesting, right? I can only imagine. It's like she's got I mean, she says 1,000 people, but she's got millions of people that just love her and are so inspired by her. But then, like, you go back to your house or whatever, your empty house, if that's the case, and you're just like, okay, but I'm still here alone, and she's still human. And so all of that doesn't matter if you're still feeling alone. It's just so interesting. My resolve is sinking like a stone. What would I even say? I guess it's something that just never goes away. The resolve of, like, I guess, wanting to call this person. A crowd of thousands came to see me, and you couldn't reply for 3 days. Like, I've got these people literally, like, paying all this money, traveling, doing all this to show up, and you couldn't even reply to me. Reply to a fucking text for 3 days. Yeah, it must be such a mindfuck. Because I'm stupid and I'm damaged. No. And you're a disaster, and you walk into the room, oh, none of it matters. I just buckle my resolution in tatters. God. These are the songs of longing are the ones that Mitski gets me. But I am in a slightly better place today when it comes to that topic, longing. But I understand this feeling of, like, it doesn't matter what I do, even if I logically know that I can't. I'm still hanging off the buckle on your belt. Yeah. I am still, yeah. No, I'm not. I relate to this feeling, but I don't actually, now I'm realizing I'm not actually anymore. But I relate to this feeling. For many years, I felt like I was still hanging off the buckle of one particular person's belt. And I'm realizing, as I said that out loud, as I declared that I still was, I realized that that was a lie. And that I have healed past that. Does it creep in like that bullshit we were talking about that keeps creeping in? Of course. But am I actually hanging off the buckle on this person's belt? No, I'm not anymore. I'm very much standing in my power. Cool. That's a good realization for me. Thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, let's keep going. But yeah, these Mitski is amazing with this. And then, oh my God, like, two powerful literary forces together. This is everything I could have ever dreamed of.
'Cause I'm stupid and I'm damaged and you're a disaster. When you walk into the room, oh, none of it matters. Oh baby, I just buckle my resolution in tatters.
Yeah, it feels like,
'cause I know it won't work.
Because sometimes it can feel like she said in the other song, where, like, the healing isn't linear. It's like sometimes you can feel like you're really, like, healed and you've come into yourself, and then you almost get, like, tested. So maybe she's, even in a similar place while at the writing of this, where she's like, she's done a lot of healing, but then it's like she's realizing, as she comes into this person's presence, that these old fears come back up, and then it feels like, oh my God, I'm just still hanging off the buckle of your belt. Yeah, oh my God, totally. This is another perfect example of that healing not being linear. Yeah.
But make it ache, make it hurt, keep me a secret, choose someone else. I'm still hanging off the buckle on your belt.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Even if you're hurting me, even if it aches, I'm still here, hanging off the buckle on your belt. Yeah. Oh, that's painful.
Buckle on your belt.
But I have to acknowledge anybody that's here, that's also on the Mitski journey with me, and you sat through so many longing songs of me just working through and processing these emotions of this person that at one point I was hanging off the buckle of this person's belt. You know, the thing that would come to mind is the biggest one that started the whole discussion in that Mitski journey was Eric. That song. So if you've been with me since then, you'll be able to see that that girl that reacted to Eric Lesh Mitski back months ago, whatever it was, 4 months ago or something like that, that girl would have bawled to this song. So clearly, I've done some healing since then. So good job, Val. Right? You guys know it. You know. The ones that know, you know. So I just wanted to, I don't know, appreciate my healing there for a second, because it's not linear. So we gotta be grateful, because, you know, who knows, maybe 2 weeks from now I'll be crying over it again. Who knows? But in this moment, we've done some healing. Here we go. Let's keep going.
Then you close the door and leave me screaming on the floor. Oh baby, I just buckle. I can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
Let you walk all over me, honey.
I love the use of
Make me think my
using buckle in so many different ways. The wordplay of it is brilliant, but I'm not surprised, because like I said, we've got two literary geniuses in the same room together. They create fucking magic. It's making me cry just thinking of that, not to do with anything to do with the song, but just how beautiful this is, that we get to have this beautiful, my soul is so connected to both of these artists, so it really feels like magic, them creating together. I'm such a sap.
Drinking it down, haunting your city, falling for
I need to go back.
and leave me screaming on the floor. Oh baby, I just buckle. I can't take it anymore. Let you walk all over me, honey.
Oh.
You make me think my therapy is a waste of money.
Oh God.
Drinking it down, haunting your city, falling for anyone awful who tells me I'm pretty. I blocked your number, but you didn't notice. Oh God, I thought I was too old for this. I should be over it. I'm much too old for this, but I'm not over it.
Wow. Yeah. I have definitely felt all of these. Like I said, I feel like I've healed from some of these feelings here that she's having in this, which I'm sure she has too in this, like in this present moment, but like in this moment where she was writing this song, I certainly relate. I'm not there anymore, but I very much relate to all of this. Yeah, I should be over it. I'm too old for this, but I'm not over it. I mean, there's a beautiful acceptance in that, though.
'Cause I'm stupid and I'm damaged and you're a disaster. When you walk into the room, oh, none of it matters. Oh baby, I just buckle. My resolution in tatters. 'Cause I know it won't work, but make it ache, make it hurt. I'm not better than this. Show me what I'm worth. Keep me a secret. Choose someone else. I'll still be here, hanging off. I'm hanging off. Buckle on your belt. Buckle on your belt. Buckle on your belt. Buckle on your belt.
Yeah, so interesting. I didn't really talk, sometimes I don't talk about metaphors, and then I realize after that I didn't talk about it because I felt it so clearly in my soul that I didn't actually Like I just gloss over it because it's so apparent to me, but then I realize after that maybe I should have shared that. Like it's maybe not incredibly obvious, and that it might be helpful to people. I don't know. I'm learning with these things. But yeah, the buckle on your belt, like I said, we use it in so many different ways, but in this way, it's like I feel like it's, that expression of like being another notch on someone's belt, right? Where it's like you're feeling like you don't necessarily matter to them, like you're just another notch on their belt, like they just move on from things quickly, like you're just another person that they have had relations with, but they're happy to move on to the next person and kind of treat you like an option where, to them, from her point of view, she's just like hanging on to this buckle on the belt, even though she's being treated like just a notch on his belt. So yeah, I just realized that I didn't really talk about that because it just felt clear to me, at least. Again, it's only my interpretation anyway, but it was like clear to me. So sometimes I don't talk about things and then people in the comments are like, oh, like this is what it's about, and I'm like, yeah, but then I'm like, but I didn't actually say it because I don't know, I'm weird like that. Anyways, so just in case it's helpful for anyone that maybe didn't think about it that way, I don't know. But yeah, just using the word buckle in so many different ways, like buckling my resolution. There was another one, I think. I just buckle. Yeah, I can't take it anymore. Yeah, so good. So good. Okay, we've officially cracked the half of the record. Holy shit. Kraken. Let's go. Let's keep going though. Let's keep going.
Sometimes my body seems so alien to me. I quiet it down by watching TV,
Yeah.
but grow restless and grow hungry as the water rises up around me. You come on screen, so good looking it's obscene. I put my fist into my mouth and scream. Some things it seems are.
I just relate to that. Like you're like, ah, like I don't want to feel it anymore. Yeah, totally. It's so funny. I were talking about feeling like an alien already in this reaction, but yeah, sometimes my body seems so alien to me. Yeah, I relate to that. Sometimes I have a hard time grounding myself and being in my body, so I have to really consciously work on that. So yeah, anyways, let's keep going.
Up with me. And as it rises to my chin, I should really stop watching. And as I reach for the remote, it is rushing down my throat. I let it in. I start to swim. I grow many arms and legs, and then I start to sing.
Yes, back to the water reference, please. But it's interesting because she's like talking about this healing journey and like talking about past selves. So of course we would go back to some of the verbiage that was used back in lungs and ceremonials and things like that. So that's really cool. I love that symbolism of it. Yeah, I love it.
My peers that had such potential, but the swamp it took them down. And my love, I have to tell you, I kissed them all and let them drown. You didn't see me, just another drunken groupie. So when your hand reached out, I just pushed you further down. Where do you see me now?
Interesting. And all of my peers, they had such potential. The swamp, it took them down. And my love, I have to tell you, I kissed them all and let them drown. There's this, especially someone who's been a people pleaser in their life before. And I don't know if she was that way, but I get the sense that maybe she could have been that way at one point. It almost feels like when you start focusing on yourself, and healing yourself and loving yourself and putting yourself first, it starts to feel almost like you're being selfish, but you're not being selfish. You can help other people, you can be there for other people, you can love other people way better if you when you learn to fill your own cup up first, right? But it's really uncomfortable at first. It takes a lot to start. Anyways, it just feels like she's feeling this like guilt and shame over making it over some of the other people, that she considered peers. Her rising into her fame and her success and kind of leaving them in the dust in a way. It feels like there's some guilt there, even though she was just rising in her power. But yeah, just realizing that she has this power now. She's definitely risen into it and had acceptance of it. So she's like, well, do you see me now? I pushed you further down. So it feels like there's like a role reversal. Maybe this person that she's singing to at first, maybe she felt like she was in this like lower position, but now she's not. Maybe there, like I said, it feels like a role reversal in a way. Really interesting. Oh, beautiful.
Do I haunt you in your sleep? My tentacles so tender as I caress your cheek. Did you know how big I would become and how much I would eat? So glamorous and ravenous as I drag you off your feet. There's nothing you can do. Some things it seems are catching up with you.
Yes! I love that.
Arms around the mast as your ship starts cracking. Were you singing through the pain? Have you changed? Well, so have I. As I fix you in the gaze of my one unblinking eye, or do I terrify?
There's this acceptance of this kind of darkness within her in this song that I really love and appreciate. I feel like that is a really important stage of a lot of women in particular healing journey, because a lot of us have felt like our voices have been stifled. We felt like we have to be the good girl. Well, I mean, what she was talking about in Sympathy Magic, right? I don't feel like I need to be good anymore. But like when you've spent most of your life trying to be the good girl, sometimes finding this darkness within, this dark feminine power within, is actually really helpful and transformative. And no, I'm not meaning dark feminine in a toxic way. I mean dark feminine in the way of finding your power, setting boundaries, not trying to be everything for other people, but learning to be for yourself. That's what I'm talking about. But it can feel really monstrous for someone who's lived their life for other people. Like I said, she's calling herself like a monster, like a creature from the deep, and she's got tentacles. And I think there was a song, I don't remember which one, but there was a song she was talking about I'm monstrous or something. I don't remember which one right now, but like that's obviously a theme here. Feeling like this monster, but it's like she's accepting this darkness, this monster within. And that's I think it's a legitimate and a really important part of your healing journey. You can't shy away from these things. We all have darkness within. It's actually more helpful to face the darkness, because if you don't face it, it's just going to come up in unhealthy ways. and in inappropriate ways. Anyways, let's keep going.
All of my peers, they had such potential. The swamp, it took them down. And my love,
oh my god. The Kraken. I completely forgot what the title was. Of course. She's I'm like, oh my god, yeah, the water image and the I'm getting excited about the ship symbolism, but like completely, yes, of course, it's called the Kraken. Okay, got it. I completely forgot what the title was. Hilarious. Okay, this is amazing though. I love it.
I kiss them all and let them drown. You didn't see me, just another drunken groupie. So when your hand reached out, I just pushed you further down. Do you see me now?
Ooh. She's become the Kraken. Amazing. Yes. Let it out. Let that monster out. Do you see me now that I've become this monster, this big monster that no one can contain anymore? Now do you see me? Oh my god. And it reminds me of in the Odyssey, the film, I remember talking about there's that one scene where it feels like in the choreography she's like begging for people to see her. She's like screaming at them on the table. She's like on the table screaming, and that's what it felt like. It was like, see me, why aren't you seeing me? And that's what I said in that reaction. And now we're seeing this Florence that is now not afraid to be big and to be in her power. And maybe that looks like a monster to those who were kind of feeding off of her being small, right? When you don't set boundaries and then you start setting boundaries, the people who, were kind of taking advantage of you not having boundaries, they're going to really start not liking you and, calling you a monster and things like that, because, they were really benefiting from you not having boundaries in place. So it's a good thing. They can think you're a monster. You can go away, run away from the monster. Yes, please. Right? But now it's like, we've come from that to now this image of her being this like full, big, freaking Kraken. There's so much symbolism here, right? Like her being in control of those emotions finally, just like being okay with being herself and being big and authentic. But again, it's going to look like a monster to some people, but then to others, they're going to see the beauty in that. And, she's like, do you see me now? There's so much in that. Oh, beautiful writing. That's brilliant. That is fucking brilliant. Okay. Wow. This is incredible. The old religion. I'm scared. Okay. The old religion. So we're probably, okay. This is maybe some of the like folklore, witchcraft type stuff, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Nature, earth, that type of stuff, maybe. I don't know. That's my assumption. Let's go. Ooh, piano. Okay. Beautiful.
And the old religion humming in your veins.
Yes.
Some animal instinct starting up again.
Yes.
And I am wound so tightly, I hardly even breathe. You wonder why we're hungry for some kind of release. So tired of being careful, so tired of being still. Give me something I can crush. something I can kill.
Yeah, we're embracing that. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God. That was getting really good and I just fucked it up by stopping. Sorry. We'll go back and listen to that transition into the chorus because it sounded like it was getting really good. Yeah, she is definitely embracing that. And she did. She talked about finding power in that interview and this is where we're seeing that exploration of power. Really cool. The old religion being like, I think, like true, like the truth, the true essence, the embodying of truth, like getting back to those like you know, she talks about animal instinct and like just yeah, let's keep going. I'm gonna put it back because I want to hear that transition.
So tired of being still. Give me something I can crush, something I can kill. A lightning strike, a fallen tree, and I'm afraid, oh, don't let it find me. But you had a run.
No, you can't outrun yourself.
You see, and I'm powerless, so don't remind me. And it's the old religion, but the urge remains the same. Freedom from the body, freedom from the pain. And it's your troubled hero, back for season 6.
Buffy!
When it's
It's Buffy again! That's Buffy! Sorry, I'm a huge Buffy nerd. As I said, I already talked about, right, with the other song it reminded me. But that, wow, that is so cool. Because I obviously picked up on that reference in one of the greats, right? But yeah, we have Buffy back again. So, you know, spoiler alert, if you want to watch Buffy, don't listen to me. But yeah, she dies in season 5 and then she's ripped out of heaven and brought back by her friends that don't realize that she's actually in a heaven realm. They think that she got to hell or something, so they're, you know, trying to be helpful, but they rip her out. And obviously she has a hard time adjusting, as you can imagine, if you were ripped out of heaven to come back to earth to be the, you know, savior of fucking and deal with all the bullshit again, right? So that's what season 6 is all about. But man, wow. Sorry, that but the urge remains a freedom from the body, freedom from the pain. And so before she comes back, she talks about Buffy is what I'm talking about with this reference. She just talks about like being in this place where there was just yeah, there was this freedom from the pain of being human, right? And so anyways, so interesting. Let's keep going. I could talk about Buffy all day.
that it's darkest, it's my favorite bit. And I am wound so tightly, I hardly even breathe. You wonder why we're hungry for some kind of release. Watch me crawl on hands and knees and scratch at the door of heaven. A lightning strike.
This verse also just reminds me of, I've talked about this a lot, but something that I also really relate to Florence is that feeling of like really gripping tight, like wanting a lot of control over things and having a hard time releasing that. And it just reminds me of that. Watch me crawl on hands and knees and scratch at the door of heaven. Even the ways sometimes I have to remind myself all the time, and that this is part of my journey as well, even the way I approach personal growth and healing sometimes is in a very controlled, like, oh my God, I have to meditate, I have to do these things. I have to remind myself all the time that like, no, like sometimes you can just live, Valerie. Valerie, you can just live. Like, it's actually going to be okay if you don't do your meditation today. If you're like taking a walk instead, that's actually okay. It's going to be okay. But like, I have this white knuckling everything, including the healing and the more calm, peaceful. It's like, I am going to force peace into my life. And it's like, this is why I talk about surrender all the time, because it is my massive lesson right now. And that is the threshold that I'm on. That is the old self I'm getting rid of today, stepping into tomorrow, is that white knuckling everything. I can, trust in myself, trust in whatever higher power you believe in, and fucking just relax and do things. But yeah, I'm also bound so tightly. I hardly even breathe. Yep. You wonder why you're hungry for some kind of release again, surrender. Yeah, I relate to all of that. That is literally what I'm letting go of right now. I love that. Yes. So I feel like the old religion is like that remembrance of self and who you are and why you're here, and that old religion being like, connecting again with Mother Earth, with Source, with just like that old ancient, like you feel it in your bones, that that pull to come back to that and reject all the bullshit that we're told we have to be in some of these newer religions, you could say, since, we're calling it old religion. That's how I'm interpreting this song. And I'm on a very similar journey. Like I said, this woman, I am very tethered to her soul. This is everything I've needed to hear, and it's perfect. It's literally, I feel like every time I do a Florence reaction, I say that. I'm like, oh, this is exactly what I needed to hear today. Like, I sound like such a dork. I promise, if you go back to some of my other reactions and other artists, I don't say it every time. I swear, I don't say it every time. But sometimes with Florence, I say it. Sometimes with Lana, actually. That Lana journey, I did a lot of healing there as well. And it felt like divinely guided as well. But this is another journey that feels very divinely guided. Like, I need to hear these words. This is so cool. I loved that one as well. Holy shit. I don't know how I'm going to say what my favorites are, honestly, because they're all so good. Drink deep. Drink deep. There is a lot of nature and stuff. She did say that there was nature, and I was excited about that because I'm a nature nerd as well. So we've got everything, right? Everything for me. It's like she obviously didn't, but it feels like she wrote it for me. It's like, I'll even put Buffy in there for you. And the nature and the personal growth and the healing. Oh, this is stunning. I love it. Ooh, and more of the shimmering. Ooh. Ooh, I feel like we're a swamp witch here in a cottage. Brewing our, in our cauldron.
Bramble and briar under ash and oak, I went to find the hidden foe. They gave me gowns and riches, cut gold thread with their teeth.
Whoa.
Every night I went to see them, no, I did not sleep. And every cup they brought to me, oh, you know I did drink deep.
Whoa. It's so...
Drink deep.
It has this, like, kind of creepy vibe to it. Ooh. They gave me guns and riches. So this feels like maybe the exploring the darker side of the industry, maybe. Again, and she talks about it a little bit. Cut gold thread with their teeth. What did they say about that? Oh, Rumpelstiltskin, yes! He spins straw into gold but charges a high price. Yeah. Again, talking about the price of things, the cost of it. It just feels like we are talking about, like, again, more like the price of fame, the price of being in this industry, this dark industry. Drink deep, like, and I mean, if you wanted to relate it to your own life, it could be kind of what I feel like you could relate it to your own industries, your own career, your own going to school and being given these, like we've been talking about, all the like socialization and the programming that's done, that's told you to be who they want you to be in order to be in this capitalist society, right? It can all relate to everybody in that way. Like, here you go, drink deep, drink it down. But it just reminds me, like, from the last song, like, just remembering really who you are, and that it doesn't necessarily have to be exactly what the cup that you are being given. You can choose to drink what you want to drink.
My eyes began to hollow, my skin began to fade.
Yeah.
What I thought was a night was 1,000 years. What I thought was a sip was 1,000 tears. But still,
This is beautiful. What do they say about this one? In the fairy world, oh, this is cool. So yeah, she's diving into folklore here. Also called the other world in Celtic folklore, time passes strangely. What may be a day in our world is 1,000 years in theirs, and what is 1,000 years in ours may be a day in theirs. Cool.
they said drink deep. Drink deep.
It sounds so creepy, but it's like rich and gorgeous too.
Like the thread that they spun was a woman's hair, and the gown stitched from her tenderest flesh, and the cup that they brought up to my lips. I realized I drank of myself. Yes, it came from me. It
This verse is stunning. I'm still contemplating on it though. This one might take me some time to unravel, unravel as we're talking about a thread. I'm trying to, like a thread that they spun was a woman's hair, and the gown stitched from her tenderest flare. So talking about like the way that women are a lot of, I think it makes me think of, because I don't know, for some reason I am kind of thinking, I guess, from her, trying to see it from her point of view of being a woman in the industry and seeing all these women like thrust in the spotlight, and then all these men in the background kind of profiting off of that. It kind of feels like that to me. But then I'm trying to figure out, and the cup that they brought up to my lips, I realized I drank of myself. So maybe like realizing that in some ways, maybe you are complicit in some of these things, even though, yeah, it feels like realizing the part that you're playing in some of the darkness, even though a lot of it, I mean, you do the best you can, right? But maybe looking back at things and being like, and again making that realization of perhaps complicity, or I mean in that moment probably not realizing that, but in retrospect maybe. That's what I'm getting from it. It's very deep. I'd love to hear what your take on that is, but that's what it feels like to me. That was absolutely stunningly beautiful. Okay, on to the last three here. Music by men. And it looks like it's explicit. I don't think she swears a lot in her music, does she? I don't think so. So that's interesting. I'm excited. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Oh, the acoustic guitar again, yeah.
In every book in the house, notes from you fall out. All the love that came my way, I found a way to push away. I don't wanna be afraid anymore. I don't wanna run from love like I had before. And on the way to couples therapy, put your headphones in so you didn't have to talk to me.
Oh.
Listening to our own demos on the ride home. You have a bigger ego than you think you do.
Ooh, that
Slide
sounded
down
so
in
good.
my seat so as not to threaten you.
Oh. This is what I'm talking about. The things sometimes that you feel like you have to do as a woman to make yourself smaller, to, we do it all the time. Sometimes we do it without even realizing. So the fact that, talking about it, being aware of it, that's where the healing comes in, right? From that idea. But I think, yeah, in order to soothe men's egos a lot of the time, we do it all the time. Like I said, most women aren't even aware of it, I think. I think there is this awakening, this awareness that's coming into public consciousness of women, but there's still a lot of people that don't see it. Wow, that's powerful to be talking about. Let's keep going. Music by men.
Let it be us, let it be home, falling asleep and not looking at our phone.
That kind of goes with what really touched me about the final song in Dance Fever. What is it called? Something No Choir? Is it called No Choir? When she was talking about just something about just wanting that moment to do nothing and how beautiful that is. I don't remember the exact lyric, sorry, but I think you can probably understand what I'm trying to get to. It kind of feels like that. Like, can that just be us? Let it be home, falling asleep, not looking at our phone, like it just peace, just wanting peace, really.
When I fall in love, I do it constantly.
Yeah, me too.
I fall in love with everyone I meet for 10 minutes at least. Then comes the work, the resentments, and the hurt.
Oh, this is
looking at your haircut and that stupid bad t-shirt.
I mean, she's taking accountability for her.
I always thought I was nice, I thought I was kind, until I tried to do something that was almost real life. It's not like what I've seen in TV shows. It's not like what I've read in books. It's so much harder than it looks. And there isn't much applause if it required practice and dedication. I just got bored. We discussed something called compromise, a brand new concept that I never tried. Let it be us, let it be home, falling asleep and not looking at our phone.
Sorry, I'm trying to make the connection. Music by men. Okay, we're gonna keep going.
Listening to a song by the 1975, I thought, fuck it, I might as well give music by men a try.
Oh my god. Why the hell not? I'm like that. Look at my channel. How many reactions do I do of men? One Direction, really? Pretty much One Direction. And it's not that, like, I like music by men. I really like, well, obviously I resonate more with women, but, and the journey of women and empowerment has really been what my channel's been about. But yeah, sometimes I'm like, oh, I should probably expand a little bit, which I have plans to. But breaking my bones, getting 4 to 5, like I'm just literally doing everything I can, breaking myself down, and I'm getting 4 to 5. Like I'm not even getting the best results. Interesting. Okay.
Let there be love, let there be light, let there be a quiet day and an easy night. Let me put out a record and have it not ruin my life. Let it be us, let it be home, let it not be a spotlight standing alone. Running back to the only love I could ever control.
Music? Herself? I'm not sure which love she's talking about. It could be self. It could also be music. Let there be love, let there be light, we're saying again. Interesting. It feels like wanting to, like, finally, like we were talking about that grip, like that's really what I relate to her, is that like control and that grip, and just making the conscious choice to, we're gonna let it in, and we're just gonna allow things to be easy and flow. Maybe, and I think it kind of goes with, because I think sometimes a lot of men, because we can't relate all the time, there, there's different experiences, right? And I think sometimes women are shocked to hear how, like, the things that men don't have to worry about sometimes. Like, if you sometimes you talk to men and you tell them about all the fears and all the things that you have to worry about out in the world being a woman, and it's like a lot of times they're like, "What are you talking about? I don't think about those things." Like, there's just, and I mean, you could say it in different intersections as well. There are things that me as a white woman, would maybe not consider the same things that a black woman would be forced to consider in this world the way it's set up. Obviously, if you're consciously trying to be aware of those things, that's good, but there's different experiences, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And it just feels like, I don't know, the metaphor of like music by men, it's like I'm just gonna try to do things like maybe like men, like, and just not, and just take that worry away. And like, it, I don't know, it feels like this is how I'm gonna find my peace, is just to like let things be and not try to control everything. It feels like this another sense of like surrender and empowerment to me. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think and how that, I just, that's what I'm getting from that. I know it's not really explicitly said in the song, but that's the read I'm getting. That's the feeling I'm getting, and why it would be called music by men. Okay. You can have it all. Second last song. Okay. You can have it all.
Sit in salt water, calling a vision of my daughter. Light a candle, place my grief upon the altar.
Oh.
A bird in my hands, a flower, a song. I used to think I knew what sadness was. I was wrong.
Yeah.
A piece of flesh, £1,000,000. Am I a woman now?
Oh.
A crescent moon.
Oh, wow. It feels like, because she's wrestled just with the idea anyway of, whether or not to start a family for so many years, as like I said, as you do as a woman, especially when you're getting older. As she said in the interview, like that time, like 35 to 40, it feels like this really pivotal time when you start thinking of these things. And yeah, it's like I had this thing taken from me. Am I finally a woman too now? And that's painful, because there's this feeling in society that there's only one way to be a woman, and there's only one purpose for a woman, and it's a beautiful purpose. It is an absolutely stunning purpose. If that's why you're here, is to have children, then that is such a beautiful part of life. And I think that's beautiful, but it's not all there is to being a woman. I've had to really fight with this within myself, because I always wanted kids when I was younger and, in my 20s, but I don't want to have children if I'm not in a stable place within myself, and also if I'm not in a stable with someone stable enough to be the type of person I would want to stand beside me while I raise a child. And at this point, like, I'm 39, I'm not settling. I've decided I'm not settling. So if I've had to accept that I might not have children. It might not be part of my path. And when people come on here on the internet and start talking about how you're less of a woman for that or something like that, it's painful. And so it just feels like that line is like, and I'm sure she's heard all of it, right? Being in the public sphere. And it's like, there feels like a bit of like resentment in there. It's like, I endured this. Does that make me woman now? But yeah, I guess going back to my resonance, I guess, is just, I know I'm doing the right thing in just not settling, but I'm open. I'm still open. I'm open to whatever this life has in store for me. I'm not closed off to anything, but I certainly won't settle in order to get something that somebody else tells me I have to do in order to be a good woman. Remember, we're not trying to be good girls anymore, or good women, right? So I guess where I've come to in my life is, maybe it's not meant for me. Maybe that's not my purpose in life. And that's okay. It doesn't make me a bad woman. Yeah, anyways, let's keep going.
Apple sliced thick in the sky. The air smells of fruit and smoke. The season is ripe. I stay in the house, move the furniture about, try and control what I can.
Control again, remember?
Feel the world
and being asked to surrender
through my hand. You can have it all.
And just affirming that to yourself. No, I can actually just have it all.
You can have it all. Dug a hole in the garden and buried a scream, and from it grew a bright red tree shining with jagged leaves, and when the wind blows you can hear it.
Right? Dug a hole in the garden and buried a scream. So it's like, and with it grew a bright red tree. So it's like it's transmuting that pain, right, into something productive, which is basically what healing is, right?
Dug a hole in the garden and buried a scream, and from it grew a bright red tree shining with jagged leaves, and when the wind blows you can hear it.
Oh my god, this is like giving me chills. Oh my god, the woman screaming, yeah. I can actually just have it all.
You can have it all. Piece of flesh, a million hearts. Am I a woman? No. Tree grows tall, can't cut me down. Am I a woman? No.
This is a. I was just thinking, like, how important this record is, especially for women. And I'm not saying, like I said, I really do believe that we all have, feminine, masculine energies both within us. So it really doesn't matter. But obviously, as a woman, gender does matter in the way of like how we experience the world. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is, as a woman, I feel like this is such an important record. It's so empowering. But it also can be empowering for men as well. I really believe that because I think that the rise of the feminine is within all of us, and accepting and embracing those parts of ourselves that we've, had to push down for so long. That was so beautiful, so healing. Wow, this is really important to me anyway, and I really hope I have a feeling that a lot of people will relate in this similar way, and it'll be used for some really deep, beautiful healing. Okay, we're on the last one. And love. Here we go. More of that little magic.
And love was not what I thought it was. It crept up on me despite myself. And it was not a love song, it was something else. More like surrendering to something, and more like resting than running.
It feels like magic. I sound like such a crazy person. It feels like magic when I listen to her music because it just feels like I said, I'm just on a really similar healing journey to her. And so to have these songs that are putting into words the things that I'm actively going through, like this, how many times have I talked about surrendering, right? And I've I just read the chorus. How many times have I said, like, I know that this is my next step. This is the threshold I'm on, right? Is truly letting go and really surrendering and stop like controlling and fighting so hard for everything and just, yeah, more like resting than running. And it's a hard lesson. I've been learning this lesson, I swear, over the last year. It's taken me, like, consciously. I mean, I've probably been learning this lesson and circling this lesson my whole fucking life, but like consciously attempting to heal this for literally a year. It's been such a tough road. So I don't even know how to describe to you how important a song like this is for me. I'm just gonna listen to it. I've been yapping, the whole time about the same shit.
Peace is coming. Peace is coming.
It's magic.
Peace is coming. Peace is coming. And love was not what I thought it was. More like an animal crawling deep into a cave than a romance novel heroine being swept away. More like surrendering to something, and more like resting than running. Peace is coming. Peace is coming. Peace is coming. Was not what I thought it was.
Beautiful. Well, I think we found Valerie's favorite Florence the Machine song. Um, that that's my theme song. That is my theme song. That was everything that I needed to hear. Going into this period of, like I said, consciously letting go of old beliefs, old versions of self, and stepping into the new. This was everything that I need to do that. So thank you, Florence. You are a special soul. Wow. It feels like magic. Um, it feels like magic. I don't even know how to process what I just listened to. That was such a journey. That was so beautiful. It literally felt like magic because it felt like someone documenting my experience. And so I'm just like, I resonate so deeply with it. And it just means so much to me. Like I said, like it was really cool going through the whole discography because I was able to relate because, like I said, I do feel like I have been on a similar path, at least emotionally and in healing wise, with Florence. So going through the discography was interesting because it was like, and because I'm literally the same age and on such a similar emotional journey in some ways, it really felt like revisiting those past selves, like as we did the older albums. And then it's like we caught up, and this album came out on this day, and it's exactly what I needed to hear right now. It feels like magic to me. it's it's mind blowing for me. If you only knew my whole life story. I mean, I try to tell it to you in the 3 hours we were fucking here, but there's obviously a lot more nuance to it if you only knew. But yeah, that's my favorite, and love. That's my favorite. That's my favorite song. There you go. That's my favorite song. Of the whole discography. Yep, that's my favorite. God, these were all so good. The standouts from today, I don't know. They were literally, you heard me talk about each one of them and how amazing they are. So I guess I don't have to keep saying that, but Witch Dance, oh my God, was so emotional and such a visceral, revealing, powerful song. I loved and Sympathy Magic. I mean, the ones we had already heard, I kind of like I'm not talking too much about because I already kind of, you know, we've talked about them on other previous videos too, right? So, Perfume and Milk, I loved that one as well. Buckle, I mean, it made me want to cry just thinking about how good it was because Mitski was also on it as far as the writing, and it was just, it was so good. The writing was just so good on that one. Kraken was this really beautiful, like I said, this big, almost like embrace of the dark feminine, which I think, like I said, is an important step in many women's journeys. The Old Religion was really cool. Again, Drink Deep was so interesting. Music by Men. I want to hear what your thoughts on that one. I don't know if my take was a wild take for that one. I don't know. It's just how I felt. You Can Have It All was also so powerful. Yeah, and then to end with And Love, that was perfect. That what a journey that was. This whole thing has been, I can't believe this has been such a long reaction. Thank you. If you're here all the way to the end and you listen to my yapping and you know, you brought me into your home and let me go on and on about my thoughts and beliefs, and yeah, I love you. I'm so happy that you're here as part of this community. You're really helping me live my dreams. So I appreciate it. Anyways, I'm gonna go and try to process some of that. That was everything to me. I don't know how else to express that. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and week, and I will see you for the next video. Bye.